I need to preface this video with one note. I've only used Apple Vision Pro once, months ago at WWDC, so a lot of the conversation I'm about to have stems from the more recent reviews and unboxings. Okay, if I asked you to visualize Apple's Vision Pro in your mind, just like picture it, what are the features that materialize? Like, what are the things that you remember the most about it? I would say for most people, the two big things are the solo knit band, like the strap, and then the screen on the front where you can see the eyes of the user. I feel like those two features are the most iconic features of the Apple Vision Pro. And I have so many thoughts about these two things. Okay, first, let's start off with the straps. So when I got to try it, that was the strap that we used, the Solo Knit Band. And it's the strap that you see in all the marketing material, the website, the commercials, a lot of the reviews, like the reviewers are using them. That's the strap. It's very cool looking, and it's arguably the most interesting strap we've ever seen from an AR or VR headset from any company. The thing is, it's not a particularly functional strap. I mean, this headset is over 600 grams, and from all the reports we've seen, that single band is not particularly comfortable for extended wear. The other strap, that double band, is where it's at. It's significantly more comfortable. I mean, when Marques first tried it, this was his reaction.
In the back. Well, that's so much more well distributed, and I happen to adjust it pretty close to my head. That is going to be much easier to wear for longer, but I think it's immediately a better fit. It's more comfortable. Wow.
Those are Marques's words, and I think that was literally the first time he'd put it on his head. Now, the problem with that second strap, or the double strap version, is that, well, there's a couple things. One, you now have a strap that runs over your head and it can squash certain hairstyles down. But two, it just doesn't look nearly as cool. The actual strap system looks super plain and just, it's not a particularly Apple looking strap system. Now, if you look at any headset before, like this is the Meta Quest 3, it's a super lame strap system. It's nothing special to even look at. Those double straps are boring. And if you're Apple and you're launching a new product category, it has to look awesome. And it's not just the product, the people using it also have to look awesome in your commercials. You can't have people with flattened hair. It's got to look like something that's never been done before, never been seen before, and that is what the Solo Knit Band does really well. I can only imagine the number of iterations that they tried to like retool and rebuild that single strap system to make it actually viable for long-term wear. But you can't beat physics, right? Single strap, from what we've seen, it's comfortable for like 30, maybe 40 minutes, and then you get fatigue on the head because it's got a clamp so tight, and it's just the distribution of that weight is not ideal on a single strap. It's enough time to kind of demo the product or just play with it, but if you're gonna use that $3,500 machine for the spatial computing experience that Apple's trying to pitch here, comfort is super important. And the way to get comfort is that ugly ass double strap system that flattens your hair. And that is why Apple includes that double loop band right in the box. It's not some optional accessory that you have to buy. I mean, they would love to sell you accessories. That's what Apple does. But in this case, I think they recognize that in terms of actual usability of this device, you do need that double strap system. But that single loop, that Solo Knit Band, it's a beautiful marketing tool. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the screen. And I think this is the second most iconic feature of Apple Vision Pro. That front-facing screen looks really cool. Now, I said in my initial impressions of the Vision Pro that I felt like that front-facing screen was not good in the sense that it added weight, it adds cost, it makes it more fragile, it goes through batteries quicker. I still stand by all of that because this product, the Apple Vision Pro, when the user who's using it, they're not getting anything out of that front screen. It's entirely for the other people that might be interacting with you. Like if someone comes in the room, they want to have an interaction with you. It's a more natural interaction with someone when you can see their eyes. And that's primarily the main benefit of it all. But when you look at the product right now, when you see the eyes, like they don't look particularly good, at least not to me. I do think that there's room for improvement in terms of how they're capturing that image and stuff, but you also rarely see the user's eyes. It's often that purple swirly haze that indicates that the person is busy using the device. So I look at these two features, these iconic features, the Solo Knit Band and the purple swirly front screen. It's like these are very neat looking things, but both of these features or characteristics, they're often not even gonna be used by people who purchase Vision Pro. Like it's strange that the two most iconic features of this product are things that aren't even part of the main user experience for the users. And so I thought, okay, Apple must be highly aware of this, right? They built this thing over the course of years. So why is this even in here? And I thought, okay, I imagined an alternative product. Like imagine the Vision Pro didn't have that super cool solo knit band and it didn't have the front screen. It was just like a very plain Vision Pro like developer's kit. Now, I imagine that product would be cheaper than the current Vision Pro, and it could have better battery life because there's no screen. It might be more comfortable because it's lighter and it's got the double strap system, but that product would look just like every other headset out there. It would not be something Apple could market. It just wouldn't be a product they would sell, despite it being arguably a better first generation product for more people, right? But that would be an unsellable, unmarketable product for Apple. And when I realized that, I think I see what they're actually doing with Vision Pro. So obviously there's a whole conversation of like this is a first gen product and they're trying to get this out to the public, into people's hands, and so the developers can build it so the ecosystem can grow. Sure, but there's another part of it. I think what they're doing with this product is that they're making headsets socially acceptable. And the way they do it is by making these ultra iconic, ultra memorable visual components of this thing so that when you see it on the street, you recognize, you're like, okay, that's Apple's Vision Pro. So hear me out here. Okay, if you think about Apple as a company right now, I would say that they're not innovators right now. They haven't been for years, in the sense that they don't, or they haven't in years, come out with a product that is completely brand new, that no one else has ever done. What they're good at, what they're arguably the best at, is taking a product that other companies have done or tried, but they take it, they tweak it and tune it, and then package it into a form factor that's very usable and also very desirable for the normal consumer. And that is Apple's superpower. So if you think back to the AirPods, like before Apple's AirPods came out, there were lots of companies that were making wireless earbuds, but they were never popular. But then Apple made their AirPods, like obviously they killed the headphone jack and everyone else did the same. But ever since they launched those Q-tip things, like right from the rip, people are like, that looks so stupid. Those actually look like Q-tips sticking out of your ear. But look where we are now. We're in a world where the Q-tips are not just socially accepted, but they're desirable amongst a lot of young kids. And it's like, that is what Apple is really good at. And also the Apple Watch. If you think about smartwatches, before Apple Watch came out, there were tons of companies making smartwatches, but it was like socially cringy to wear a smartwatch. Can you imagine going on a date in like 2010 and be like, hey, I'm gonna put on my smartwatch and go out and to meet this person? No way. You'd have to be really confident in yourself to do that. But now, smartwatches are everywhere, and they are, again, socially accepted, and in some places, socially desirable. And I think the way they did, again, they did it through like a design, right? This is a squared face. Everyone was making round smartwatches. They went square because they want to do the Apple way. And I think they're doing the exact same thing with the Vision Pro. But they had to make it distinctly different from everybody else's headset, and they had to make it look cool, because that is, I think, the ultimate goal of this first iteration of Vision Pro. Because even if it's an amazing piece of hardware, which it is, but if it didn't look cool, if it wasn't desirable, Apple, like, that's just not the Apple way. So I ultimately think that this product, Vision Pro, or just whatever this product category evolves into, I think it will be a success for them. I think it's just like it's the same kind of trajectory they've had with all of their products, that trajectory of success where it comes out and the key in the beginning is not to make it the best product. It might be, but that's not the most important thing for them. It's to make it socially acceptable and socially desirable, so that now, like right now, if you saw someone wearing like a Meta Quest 3 on the head on like an airplane, it'd be like, what is this guy doing, right? But I think in a few years' time, I think there will be headsets on flights. I think people will be wearing Vision Pros and other headsets, and I think a lot of it will have stemmed from the existence of Apple's Vision Pro and the way that they marketed the whole thing with like really iconic design language and stuff. But there you have it. Those are some of my thoughts on Vision Pro.